In this video, I'm going to be going over exactly how I report SEO performance to clients of mine, because I just kind of want to show you how I think about it and how maybe you should think about it if you're working with an agency right now, or if you're doing SEO yourself and you aren't really sure if what you're doing is producing results. Because I hear a lot from different clients and prospects that I talk to that maybe they've hired agencies in the past and they always report on like um, you know keyword positions and traffic and impressions and vanity metrics like that, which are all good to report on and are important when you're investing in SEO. Like, you want to make sure your rankings are going up and your traffic is going up and all that good stuff. But ultimately, in the e-commerce space, which is who I work exclusively with, what matters is revenue. And the one nice thing about e-commerce is it's very easy to directly attribute revenue to SEO performance. And so the only thing is it's kind of tricky to know, like, I'm doing all this work and SEO takes time to kick in, and it could be a few weeks lag, or up to a couple of months of a lag till you see actual performance come in. And tons of things happen. There's so many variables. Like, you could be running a sale. And sales jump up across the entire website, and that might make it look like organic performance is improving a lot, but it's actually just the sale that's running. You could be a seasonal company where every few months certain products sell better than others. You could get lucky and some big YouTuber mentions your brand, and you get a huge spike in traffic from that and sales. And so it's a little bit muddy to figure out. The data gets a little bit muddy to figure out if you're just looking at like sales from organic traffic. And so I want to show you exactly how I look at this for clients and break it down for them. So maybe you can do the same for yourself and get an idea of how things are going, right? Just because, again, there's a million things that could happen. Spikes in sales, dips in sales, whatever. There's a million variables, so you have to kind of factor those things out to make sure you're actually going. So this is a typical report I have for any given client, and you can change the day range. Like, we could pull back to 30 days here, and this is how I look at performance for every single client, pretty much. So what I have here is, instead of just looking at performance for organic traffic, I'm also looking at performance for all non-organic traffic and then comparing the two, right? So, and this is a perfect example of, this is real data from a client that just ran a Memorial Day sale. So you have to be able to look at how organic is doing relative to the entire store, all the other traffic sources, right? So if we were just to zoom in on organic traffic, I could look at the last 30 days and be like, yeah, man, our conversion rate's up 12%, revenue's up 72%, sessions are up 21%. Everything's going perfectly, right? But in the back of the client's mind's like, well, yeah, I just ran a sale that boosted sales, purchases 37%, right? And so to get a much cleaner look of how SEO performance is actually doing, you want to compare it to data from all the other traffic sources on the website. And so you can see here, over the last 30 days, the sessions for all the other traffic sources were only up 9.7%, but for organic, it was up 21.6%. So the sessions are for organic are growing faster than sessions for all non-organic traffic. So from that, you can deduce that all the work that we're doing on the SEO side is probably having a positive effect, right? And then likewise, you can look at the purchases and conversion rate and revenue for non-organic traffic, and you can see organic revenue for organic traffic grew 73%, let's say, and then this grew 95.4%. So revenue from all other traffic sources is growing quite a bit faster than organic. Now that's because they were running ads and emails and all this stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So we know that organic revenue is still growing pretty quickly, but compared to the rest of the site, it's growing a little bit slower because of all the sales that are and all the other different promotional marketing stuff that they're doing. Now, on the flip side, if we pull this back to the last 7 days, so this is post Memorial Day, we're going to see that everything looks horrible, right? Because we're comparing it to a range where there was a Memorial Day sale going on. So you can see again, traffic's down 42% for non-organic traffic and only 20% for organic traffic. Another signal that what we're doing in SEO is holding more steady. So because it dipped less, and then again, revenue is down a little bit more than the non-organic traffic. So yeah, you just compare, like it's doing a little bit worse than the non-organic traffic, right? But everything's still trending down in the same direction, right? And obviously this doesn't give the full picture. Like there's other things going on, why different sources are trending at different rates. But this is just a much better, it gives a much fuller picture than if you were to just look at organic traffic and not look at it relative to how the rest of the site's performing. So yeah, I just think that's something that a lot of other agencies don't do. They focus only on how organic's doing, which is obviously what you hire an SEO agency for, but it's important to look at it relative to the rest. And then, if we were to pull this back to like when I started working with them, everything's going to look really good for me, right? Like revenues trending is up 86% versus for the rest of the website, the rest of the traffic sources is only up 23%. And so, yeah, it's just important to compare the different traffic sources to get a much clearer picture of what's going on. You can kind of cut through the noise by doing that, and then of course you have to do your due diligence to make sure you know why the trends are differing, and that's when you look at keyword rankings. Like if you see keyword rankings improving and you see impressions and clicks on Google Search Console trending up, and you see that organic traffic is increasing faster than traffic from non-organic sources, then all those three sources triangulate to give you a very clear picture that, okay, what we're doing is actually having an impact. And then you go down the funnel and look at revenue. And if revenue is improving, then great. If it's not, let's figure that out. Why is the conversion rate for organic a little bit lower? Drill down into the non-organic sources. Maybe one of those several sources is performing really well, like email has a super high conversion rate, or paid, and you can, go into that and figure out like where that difference is. So yeah, that's about it. Just a quick little video about how I think the best way to report on organic performances. So if you have any questions, drop a comment. I'll definitely respond, or shoot me an email or whatever. But hopefully that was helpful. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.